Hello everyone, my name is Prime and welcome back to another episode of American Truck Simulator. So, today we are in Elko where we left off, and we are going to be taking roughly 40,000 pounds of, I believe it's, packaged food to Truckee, California. So we're finally making our way into California. It's mainly going to be highway driving this time, but hopefully it is a smooth journey, and I am hoping we don't get caught up with so many way stations. So if you want to check that episode, that will be in the card above. Last episode we had a lot of way stations, and that made it kind of interesting. Anyways, let's get the truck started here, and let's get on our way because we have a decent journey ahead of us. So I hope everyone is doing well and staying safe in these times. I hope everyone's just enjoying playing some trucking or whatever simulation game you enjoy. I hope everyone's just being safe. I certainly am trying to do my part in staying safe. No, I do not want a job. I already have a job. I'm going to make our way out of here. Obviously, this is the most important part of all these stages, is just, or depending on where you are, if regulations have lifted off, good for you guys. Hopefully you guys are still abiding by whatever ones are still in place. For where I am, it is still a pretty restricted phase we're in. Phase 1 of a 3 that they're trying to get going here, and it's still restricting, so I'm just enjoying doing some simulation games. Obviously that's what I enjoy to do anyways, so that's not a big deal there. So it's, well, you can see by the time on my dash here, if I zoom in, it's just after, well, it's actually about 8 o'clock in the morning in game. So if all else fails, we should get there mid-afternoon-ish. That is the hope, obviously, because I don't want to be going too far into the nighttime, so you guys can see this wonderful map that SCS has created in American Truck. Obviously, this isn't a new part of the map, so if you have the game, you've probably driven on this almost what feels like a million times. I know I have, but in this save, I haven't been here, or haven't been around this area too much yet. Haven't really been in California at all. So I'm looking forward to getting into there and exploring some of the OG map. If you guys maybe couldn't tell from the last episode, or the last couple episodes that have been, mainly last episode, I started doing some major audio tweaking, I guess you could say, and how post editing and stuff like that, and different setup in my mouth, or the mic itself, when I'm recording. As of right now, it has kind of changed, so that was actually I had that in place for the last episode, but it was, so Wednesday's Wreckfest video, which you haven't seen, that will be in the card above. That was a very fun very fun episode. I had done a major change. I just had a second there where I completely forgot what I was going to say, so I apologize for that. I did a major change, and now before I was recording both audio and game in one at the same time. I know a lot of people will say, why are you doing that? Well, it was because I had, I'll admit, I was a little late to the game in realizing that Audacity is an amazing program. I knew, and I had it on my computer because I had tried to use it before, but for some reason it would never work. I did an update to it, and it works well. So there we go. I'm now using it, and so now I can hopefully, I record audio then separate, or voice audio separate from the game. That allows me to do some better mixing, and I think it gives a better voice quality as well. I am pretty confident that the changes I've done and some of the effects I can do really help the raw volume. And with I have a de-esser plugin, and that has really helped because I realized, unfortunately, and I've just known for a while, that I naturally have a lot of a S kind of slur sort of tone to my voice normally as I speak. That's something that's just part of me. I'm trying to work around it, and I think I've been getting better, but it's just one of those natural things that I can't always change. I'm going to see if I can get by this truck here. But you just listen to that reverb in the tunnel. That's just so cool. I love that. I've been trying to get better, obviously, at pronunciating a lot more, because that's not something in day-to-day life when I'm talking to friends and family and stuff like that. It's not something you take for granted until you listen to yourself in recording and you have other people, as other people meaning you guys, the viewers, and how annoying it can actually be. So the de-esser really does cut back significantly on that kind of annoying hiss sound thing. Now it's not perfect, but it's certainly a lot better because I don't want to get rid of the sounds all around. I'll probably play with settings and stuff overall, but it has helped. I have noticed in the recording of last episode especially is where I really implemented it, or last episode on the channel, sorry, which is the Wreckfest. But yeah, it is a big change for me, and certainly a lot better. I think there's a speed change here somewhere. It still says 80 on my speedometer, but I don't buy it because everyone's going... Oh, that's the horn. I wanted to hit the other button here. Wow. It's like I haven't played the game before, right? My word. 65, is that going to change? Yeah, it has. I think there's the engine brake. Oh, just cut it on me. Okay, whatever. That could have been just a button thing on my wheel because this wheel is cheap. And yeah. Well, this is one of those things where there's not a whole lot to talk about. It's at the time of recording this, it has been a pretty quiet week for SCS. Now, knowing my luck, like what happened a few weeks ago, I did an episode, and in the morning of that, or sorry, I did a recording in the morning, and my time, and then it was in like 2 hours. SCS dropped some major news, and I had just said in the video that it was pretty quiet from news from SCS. So I'm probably gonna regret saying that, but so far it's been pretty quiet. Obviously, DLCs are coming, or map expansion DLCs. What I mean by that. Obviously, those are coming very I say very soon. It's sooner than later. Especially Idaho. On the Steam Workshop, it says now that it's available in summer, like I explained in the last episode, so I won't really go into any depths there. But yeah, it's certainly coming along here, and I'm looking forward to having that new content to explore, and of course I'll do a ton of videos, well, obviously it will end up being a ton, but there'll be a lot of dedicated videos to the two new map expansions coming out respectively in the near future. And of course, if there's any other content, I will sure be doing either reviews or tours or whatever needs to be, and I will be doing that now that I can actually I can record that and serve it justice. Let's just say that graphically, because before, and this is probably a really dangerous part to be. Yeah, okay. Ooh, I saved it. Oh, okay. There's a lot of weight, and that was the worst corner I could have done a cinematic shot. This is where I'll do the cinematic shot. Or, I guess so. It just kicked me back. That's okay. If anyone from SCS is watching this, I know you guys randomize the cinematic shot cams and what it does. Obviously sometimes it works, but could you maybe just do a loop or like do a randomized but get rid of that go back into cab? I know it's a thing, or if it goes into cab then it will go back out, because it does kind of ruin the mood sometimes, because like this time it will work like that works perfectly fine, I purposely put myself back into the cab. But there are times where I just tried prior to that, it just kicked me back into the cab, and there's nothing I can do. So, yeah. If anyone's listening, that works at SCS or knows someone who works at SCS, that's just my opinion, obviously. Oh, brake, dodge. Why they stop? Oh. Okay, there's that there, and this thing has no brakes. Oh, there's no one coming. Just get over in the other lane. Guess there's an accident or something. Yeah. Or maybe it was a person who was running from them or something. It was like a pursuit that happened. Must have been. Because there's a cop parked right in front. Trailer park. I don't know about you. That must have been here before, right? Probably the last time. I just can't, like, it's kind of interesting. I don't know if anyone else notices this, and they have this ATS and have noticed this before. Every time you drive down a road, you notice something new about the detail in the map. I think it's just, even though I've had this game now for quite a while, and of course I've only been able to record and play for not too long, every time I go down these roads, I notice some form of new detail, and I think it's just due to the fact that the first time you go down, or the first few times you go down the roads, either it's in the wrong condition, so you can't really take in the map, or it's quite simply, there's so much detail, you just don't notice those kind of details. Now, you'd think a trailer park I would notice, and I will be completely fair, I'm not the most... I can be oblivious sometimes to things, so I will admit that. But ultimately, I don't really remember that being there, so I don't know if that's a new thing that they've added on, because I do know they have been trying to add in every update, kind of revamp areas of the maps, just kind of add in this, fix signs, add details here or there, just kind of slowly introduce stuff, so they're not like re-releasing, say, Nevada, where we are now, or Arizona, California, the original states. Are not having to, like, they're not re-releasing DLCs and stuff with them. They're just kind of slowly updating them as they go. So I don't know. Maybe that's just me being oblivious, which it probably is, or it's quite simply something that that they put in new, which is kind of nice as well. Now, you guys are probably wondering why, Prime, in the last episode you said City Skylines is coming soon, and you put out a Wreckfest video on Wednesday. Well, exactly, it's coming soon. When I didn't realize when I got my new GPU, it's not that there's anything wrong with I've been just trying to fine-tune settings that work well whenever I get cities bigger, and also I'm kind of I'm now in the final stages of getting episodes kind of written down and planned on what I'm going to do, because it is going to be a interactive series, or as interactive as it can be, where you guys, the viewers, are going to ultimately decide the fate of the city, and all the any major decision on development, or key things that could change how the city goes. You guys are going to make those decisions. So some episodes, it's going to, as far as I can tell from my planning, it's going to be almost every episode right at the end. There'll be two options, and then in the cards that will be then posted above, you can vote to see which or to vote on which way you want the city to go. I think that is going to be a pretty cool thing. Now, saying that, if you don't want to watch all the way into to the end and watch me babble along about the city, and that's noon, so that's just a loan payment, so we don't have to worry about that. That's not a speeding ticket, which, although I am speeding, so I should probably be careful about that. Ultimately, it's going to be almost every episode that you guys can vote and see. If you guys don't want to listen to me ramble on about building the city and all that kind of process, but you still want to be part of the and if City Skylines isn't your thing, which I understand, not everything I'm gonna do on this channel is gonna be your thing, but when it comes to that, okay dude, you're gonna get over, okay, so I'm gonna come back into this lane, there's no need for me to stay over here. If City Skylines isn't your entire thing, but you still want to be part of the decision making process, you probably won't hear this. Like, I mean, I'm not going to be one to say you have to suffer through the whole video, so obviously right at the beginning of the video I will be saying if there's a decision. So if you want to watch through the whole video, maybe maybe get interested in cities, sure, go for it. If you don't want to, simply skip to the end of the video and vote on which way you want the city to go, or watch just sections of it, skip through and see, or go look at the questions at the end and then go back and just kind of skip through and see why those, or what do you think that would how well it would affect the city, and would it be positive or would it be negative. It's not rocket science. If you guys, oh, I really have to get over here. Oh, Newell. Oh, is this a detour? I think it is. Yeah, it is. Okay, can I just... Oh, I'm going to be able to do the cheaty thing, right? Because I can just go straight up and over and back onto the highway. Because it doesn't look like it's blocked off down there. That's good. That just a left turn lane, or is this straight as well? I think it's straight as well. I think. Hopefully I can start from here. Hopefully I don't roll backwards. Come on, truck. You can do it. Anyways, yeah. So City Skylines is coming soon. I know a lot of you, or at least some of you, want to see that and have been waiting on City Skylines. I apologize for the wait. I know it's not a great wait. Obviously, I got my GPU in a time where it was just after the Sunset Harbor release, where I did the videos on that, saying that I'd have videos coming out soon. I go to record them and they don't work very well, even with... What do you mean red light violation? Where's the line? Is it that bit in the ground? Seriously? I'm not even in the... forget this. Okay, whatever, we'll take it. Oh man, that's not what I wanted. Anywho, so long story short, City Skylines is coming back very, very soon. Probably it won't be this coming Wednesday. When you guys see this, it won't be this coming Wednesday, but most likely it will be the Wednesday following. So in 2 weeks' time, City Skylines should be back on the channel. That is my hope. That is presuming this goes all to plan and I can get these things going in. Now, saying that, I kind of have like a general roadmap of a few episodes in advance, but I can only go so far, because depending on how you guys vote determines how, well, obviously how the city grows, and I can't necessarily control the simulation of the city. Well, I can't really. So yeah, I really have to kind of go as it goes. Yeah, that makes sense. My plan was to be doing between 1 and 2, probably just 1 City Skylines episode a month. Well, maybe 2, depending on how well the series goes and how efficiently I can get stuff, or how efficiently the votes come in, and how well I can get stuff recorded, because obviously there will be a deadline, and those deadlines, I haven't actually decided how long I'll leave the deadline open for the voting, but as far as I know, it will, let's just say this: whenever I get a video out, the deadline will be it will be stated, so just make sure you keep an eye out for when the next City Skylines video comes out. Be sure to keep an eye out for that and the deadlines on the voting, because if you want to be part of it, you have to make sure it's within the deadline, because if not, your vote may not end up counting, because I probably have, if it's outside the deadline, I've probably already built whatever was opposite to what you wanted. So It's one of those things where it's probably tough luck for some people, but ultimately, what can I do, right? It's kind of the thing I have to do, and yeah, I have to. I want to do City Skylines again. Please pull in for the nearest way station. Or to the nearest station. Wait, nearest way station, sorry. Those are going to get on my nerves very quickly, I think. But luckily, we're very, very close to our destination. I can actually see the dot ahead, so that is good. So we're just going to pull in here. Shouldn't have any damage on the truck, and if so, it's just like 1 or 2% for damage, general damage and wear and tear. Not damage, but just wear and tear. Hit enter. Hey, good. We're all good. That's what I like to see. So yeah, it seems like it's going to be... Oh, there's Truckee on the mini-map. If you look down here, you can see Truckee in the little dot. So we're getting very, very close. It's just across the border between Nevada and California, which border was just back behind us there. That's why there's a way station. So, yeah, we're in the land of 55 mile an hour speed limits for trucks. So it's slightly slower journeys, but in the same sense, it's probably good for me because I probably then won't crash as much or near tip over. So it's a win-win for everyone, right? I'd say so. But yeah, it's going to be just early afternoon here, which actually definitely because we're pulling up to the off-ramp now. So that's going to be good timing then, and that's good for me to know on what kind of journeys we can actually do. Come on, stop. Okay, this thing has no brakes. I must have changed the setting on something. It's either that or my brake pedal's starting to go on my wheel, which could be an could be a possibility as well. But I'm gonna have to check that, so I'll check that once I'm done recording, because I don't want to cause an accident, not because I'm not braking or not paying attention, because the truck literally won't stop. Because if I have my foot all the way down, even with good, Truckee discovered, even with a load, it will stop quicker than that, and I wasn't going very fast, so like I know it's a lot of weight, like it's 40,000 pounds of food, packaged food, but still, it's gotta be like they can stop quicker than that, especially at those lower speeds. So now it is a heavy truck though, don't get me wrong, but yeah, we're coming up here at Wahlberg. I was gonna say Wahlberg, Walbert. You guys probably know what the knockoff of that is. I don't have to really tell you that. Now, reversing. This is always a fun thing here at most Walberts, just because of the general layouts. So if we come kind of back in here, let's see if I can do this. I've done it before. I can do it. Start following now. Hey, we got around that corner okay. And we're basically going to keep an arc going so we don't get too close to this edge. We're going to let it drift in because we're getting close there. So we need to get it to go in now. Let it keep going. And then we're going to start, as it goes that way, we're going to slightly follow it. Let it drift in a little bit more, start rotating even more. And start sliding it in there. And there we go, kind of control it a little bit better. Hard back this way, kind of line up over here. And there we go. Trailer's more or less straight. I'm not, but that doesn't really matter at this point. Turn off the flashers, come out here, and turn off the truck. And now we can hit enter. Excellent. That's what I like to see, my friends. We got about 12 grand for this one. 700 XP. That is very good. So thank you guys so much for watching. That was a nice, simple journey, other than the way station. That's now like 4 in the last couple episodes, but that's okay. I'm not mad about it at all. Anyways, like I said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.